Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we have some really interesting tidbits, and of all things, we begin with updates for Darth Vader, and more specifically, his voice in the Kenobi show. Vanity Fair posted an article about how Vader's voice was done, and in it, we learn a few eyebrow-raising facts. Let's break it all down. First of all, they confirm that James Earl Jones has now officially stepped down from the vocal role of Darth Vader. Instead, he signed off on using archival voice recordings, which is what we hear in the Kenobi show. It was Ukrainian tech workers at Respeecher who compiled old voice recordings of Jones to artificially recreate the dialogue for Vader in Obi-Wan Kenobi. And the story of how it all came about is fascinating. The Ukrainian employees at Respeecher were working from their homes while there was a war going on outside. This was early in 2022, near the start of the invasion, and they were doing most of their work from bathrooms, basements, and even abandoned corridors. Back at Skywalker Sound in California, it was Lucasfilm veteran Matthew Wood,
General Kenobi,
who was supervising what the employees sent through. Vanity Fair say that the reason Lucasfilm went with the company is because of the human touch they provide, as well as of course the seamless phrasing, and it's true, they did Vader's voice absolutely beautifully. It is a shame though that James Earl Jones stepped away from the role, but given his age and the decline in the quality of his vocal presence, especially in recent performances, it only makes sense. The man is an absolute legend, and Vader as a character would not have been the same without the iconic, deep, commanding voice. The article also confirms that Respeecher's work is continuing on other Lucasfilm projects, but they say some of these are still a secret. Really intriguing stuff, and in my mind, this can only mean one thing: more Vader but also more Luke in future Star Wars projects, because for Mando and Book of Boba, Luke's voice was also synthetically recreated, and given how seamless Vader sounded in Kenobi, I think Respeecher are definitely the way to go. So where are we going to see Vader next? Well, Making Star Wars and Bespin Bulletin have both reported that Vader is going to appear in the Ahsoka show through flashbacks, and given the fact that Hayden Christensen is also involved as Anakin's Force Ghost, we're getting a lot of iterations of the character in the show. And in my opinion, having more Vader and Anakin in Ahsoka is really going to develop the character in interesting ways. And I don't just mean Twilight of the Apprentice in live action, although that would be really awesome, but I'm talking about on a deeper level. I'm talking about Ahsoka seeing Anakin's Force Ghost and the two of them interacting after all these years, especially when you factor in that she now has this bond and connection with his son, and she sees so much of Anakin in Luke. So many times when I rewatch that scene from the Book of Boba Fett, I wonder what is going to be the first thing that Anakin is going to say to Ahsoka. Is he going to guide her on her journey? And a bigger question, might his presence be part of Ahsoka's journey with Morai and the daughter's life force that's going to help Ahsoka transform into a new kind of Force user, one that we like to call Ahsoka the White? What I'm saying is we cannot underestimate Anakin's presence in Ahsoka's life going forward. Even more interesting is, could we even see Ahsoka introducing Ezra when they find him to Anakin's Force Ghost? We did see her tell Ezra about him in Rebels, and it could be a really poetic payoff for that famous "he was my master" scene.
He's amazing. I've watched these recordings to help me with my own saber training.
But going back to Darth Vader, I wonder where else we might see him, as the article does state multiple projects. Some fans think we might see him later in the Andor show, and that, my friends, brings us on to our next topic. Disney Plus and Lucasfilm have been using the Darth Vader footage from the end of Rogue One in recent promotional material for the Andor series. Now, while it could just be marketing to get Star Wars fans' attention and not have anything to do with the show itself, some fans and outlets think it could be a hint. Personally, I don't think we're going to see Darth Vader in this show, but there's always a chance he might play into season 2. Ultimately, we simply don't know yet, but let's see what the direct who first covered this had to say. As fans gear up for the next 9 episodes of the 12-episode first season of Andor, some fans are wondering if we might see Darth Vader return in this project. Tony Gilroy said that there would be no fan service, and so the chances are pretty slim, but then again, fan service does not mean lack of cameos. It just means that when there are familiar characters, it serves the purpose of the story, and not just thrown in for the fans. The most recent TV spots for Andor open with the classic Rogue One shot of Darth Vader brandishing his classic red lightsaber as he walks through a cloud of smoke. Other shots from A New Hope and Rogue One also made their way into the TV spot, and these include shots of the Death Star. Now, considering Rogue One is what the 2 seasons of Andor are ultimately leading up to, it's not too surprising that they're using material from the 2016 movie to promote the new show, but it could just be marketing and nothing more. But what I find more interesting is on the Andor side of things, they're using the same scenes over and over again, and we've already seen half of them in the first 3 episodes, and they're not using any variety, and this suggests in the 9 remaining episodes there are gonna be some big surprises, ones that Lucasfilm are keeping under wraps, but as I say, I very much doubt Tony Gilroy would have wanted Vader in this show. He was heavily against fan service, and he made it clear that what he calls the royal family of Star Wars, big characters, the Skywalkers, that kind of thing, have no place in this show. And Vader in particular does not have a place in a series that is focused on the everyday people starting a rebellion. Now we are going to see Coruscant, so if we get someone like Palpatine, that's not too surprising, but Vader in particular at this stage, unless Tony Gilroy is deliberately being misleading, does not really fit in. And so now, my dear Mandalorians, staying on the subject of Andor, we have a new leak thanks to a combined scoop from Bespin Bulletin and Making Star Wars. Major spoiler warning. Jason from MakingStarWars.net on his show yesterday unveiled something which he and Bespin have heard. It's just a tidbit, but Andor's sister is called Kerry. That's right, she's got a name. Andor, now as an adult, away from Kenari, is searching for his long-lost sister, who he's not seen in years. In episode 1, he did have a tip-off that at some stage she was working as a dancer on Morlana 1. He's not seen her in years, ever since the ship crashed on Kenari and the Andor couple adopted him. And what an interesting scene that was. Go and check out yesterday's video, where I break it all down and give you my theory for why that scene is very misleading. But it seems as though if she's got a name, Kerry, then that plot point is going to continue throughout the season, and it looks as though at some stage we are going to meet her as an adult. Let's wait and see. One final Andor update, and this one concerns Season 2. Ariel Kleiman is going to direct the first 3 episodes of Andor Season 2. The Hollywood Reporter revealed via Tony Gilroy that Ariel Kleiman is going to direct the first block of the second season's episodes. That means episodes 1 to 3. Gilroy also revealed that he's busy with pre-production here in the UK at Pinewood Studios, and we know that Season 2 is also going to be 12 episodes. Now, Kleiman does not have a long resume when it comes to directing television, but his most recent work has been very well received. He directed episodes of Peacock's The Resort this year, a series executive produced by Mr. Robot Mastermind, Sam Esmail. Last year, Kleiman also directed episodes of the critical mainstream hit Yellow Jackets, and outside of Kleiman, no other directors are known at this stage for Season 2, but it's a very good start. Speaking with The Hollywood Reporter, Gilroy also reiterated that Andor Season 2 begins filming in November, confirming reports that we spoke about in April. One final major reveal from this article is that we've not seen anything yet. We've only met some of the main cast. He adds that there are about 25 to 30 characters, or rather main characters, we've not met yet, and 9 episodes is plenty of time to show us that. Super exciting stuff. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. Are you excited for Andor Episode 4? We're now just 4 days away. If you enjoyed this video, as always, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you always. I'm Star Wars Meg. Have a good one.